Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Allie. I am your host, and I am so excited to introduce today's guest to you. Susie Moore is a world-renowned life coach, author, and host of the top-rated Apple podcast, Let It Be Easy. She is a sought-after expert for media outlets and has been featured on The Today Show, Good Morning America, Dr. Oz, Business Insider, Forbes, Oprah, The Wall Street Journal, Cosmo, and Marie Claire. In addition to being a fucking baddie, obviously, she is the resident life coach for The Greatist, which is the world's leading health and wellness site for millennials, and the author of Let It Be Easy and Stop Checking Your Likes. She has been on the Purpose Show podcast for both of those books in the past, and now she is here on Business Energetics to talk about unlocking media visibility and getting PR for your business now, not waiting for things to be perfect, not waiting for whatever excuse you have, but getting visible, getting seen now and using that to build authority. This is an incredible conversation. This is something that I definitely did in the very beginning of my business instead of waiting. And I'm so glad I did. And this is also something that I go and I do whenever I want to like create a surge in attention, in like talking about my brand, elevating things, shifting the narrative about something. So please enjoy this amazing strategy conversation. Hello, hello, my friend. Welcome to Business Energetics. Oh my God. Hi.
Ali Casada, I love you, and I'm thrilled to spend this time with you. Thank you so much for having me today.
I am so excited. You were on the Purpose Show like 5 years ago.
Wow.
It was maybe even six. Yeah, it was a long time ago. But
Oh, we've
here
known
we
each
are. I
other
feel
a
like
while. Yes.
we stay in each other's orbit. We text
Mhm.
like randomly, like, "Hey, how are you? Are you still alive? Are you still good?
Yes.
You still in Miami?"
Yes. And here we are today. What a joy.
I love it. I'm so excited. Okay. So the girls have been introduced to you, who you are, what you do. Tell us how we were just talking about how your big thing is like, I have literally no qualifications. I've just lived
But
life and
yes.
I know some shit. So you should listen to me. Tell us about how you got here.
Oh my gosh. So, Ali, my background is in the tech sector. I worked with programmatic video software. I won't bore you with any more information than that for over a decade, but my background is in the corporate world. And around the time I turned 30, I just knew, look, I appreciate my job. I'm pleased to have the experience of what I do and the support. But I knew it wasn't my life's work. I think we all know who we are inside and what's inside of us. And so when I discovered life coaching was something that existed, I was so curious about it. And so I signed up for classes I actually never even finished. I'll tell you why in a moment. I just dove straight in, called myself a coach, just really went headfirst into it. And as soon as I started doing that, not only did I love it because it felt so natural to me, but also I had this big dream in my heart, which was I want to blow this up. I want it to be huge.
Mhm.
It's nice to have a trickle of clients. That's kind of what I had in the beginning. And I was like, I don't just want this to be something that's a hobby or a side hustle that's a nice addition. I want it to be huge. And at the time, age 30, I was earning $500,000 with my job. And so I was like, how can I not even just replace that, but make this bigger? How can I make the biggest contribution as a coach? And what was so interesting was in the beginning, I was, of course, like many people, millions of people everywhere, in my cubicle, waiting till 5 o'clock each day, consuming content online. Right? That's what we do to fill the time a lot of the time. And as a brand new coach, I started looking at the media outlets I was reading through the lens of a coach. So not just as a consumer enjoying the content, but I noticed that a lot of publications that I love to read, like Marie Claire, Mind Body Green, Business Insider, Glamour, etc., they created a lot of content around stuff I love to coach on, even in those very early days, like productivity, spirituality, confidence building, allowing more ease into your day to day. And so I thought to myself, if I've got this dream in my heart, there has to be a way that this dream could be fulfilled. I didn't connect the dots yet. But as I absorbed more and more content, I thought, what if I just threw my hat in the ring? What if I joined the conversation? I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be an expert. I don't have to be qualified. But I'm a human being who's lived, or I've had some years on planet Earth. I've overcome some challenges. What if I just joined the conversation and submitted something? So one day I was living in New York at the time. I was meeting a friend for drinks downtown, and she was a bit late. I'm always early. And I had my tablet with me in a bar. I had my martini, my iPad, and I submitted 500 words to Mind Body Green, a site that I still love. And
They just stand the test of time. I love them.
they do, and they keep growing, which is amazing. So as I submit to Mind Body Green, I always forget about it because I'm like, well, we'll see. Probably a small chance this will even pan out. But 2 weeks later, I got a notification. Fun news, your piece is live. And when I clicked on it, I saw I had an author page. My article was there with gorgeous images. And when I looked at the shares, and shares is a tiny percentage of views,
Mhm.
I saw it was shared nearly 4,000 times. And this was within a few hours. And I was like, oh, Jimmy Angels, this is
Yeah.
it. This is it. The dream I have in my heart. This is the way. And I didn't have a website, Ali. That's how new I was. I didn't have any social media besides a Twitter account and my personal Facebook page. And and that was 10 years ago. I kept going ever since. Nothing pays off like the media. Not only do you get email list growth, you get credibility, you get authority, you get paid too in a lot of cases for your content. You get influencer opportunities, speaking opportunities, book deals. It's amazing the stuff that you can receive as a result of putting yourself in the way of opportunity. And I think that we see, Ali, right? Visibility is not so easy anymore. Algorithms aren't in our favor unless we pay to play. I just saw the most recent data around Instagram reach is 4%. Reach, not engagement, 4%. Facebook, 2.6. What the heck is going on with TikTok? Will we ever know?
I
There
know we
has
all
to be
just
another
had like
way.
a funeral for it, and then it was like, never mind, I'm back.
Resurrection. But for how long? I mean, this is the thing.
Yeah.
There has to be another way. The media isn't going anywhere. Their engagement, their audience size, the loyalty of that audience, oh my gosh, it's endless. It's full of possibility. And I want everyone with a message to share. I will sing it from the rooftops. I want everyone with a message to share, to tap into the media, because the media also need us. And
Mhm.
they need regular people like us. In fact, I spoke to a friend of mine who's a finance editor recently, and he said, yeah, look, Susie, there's always a place for a finance expert or a CA or a CPA, but I want to hear from the single mom with 3 kids who paid off debt and he managed to save $30,000. That's who I want to hear from. The real people with real stories.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. My mind is like spinning for all the girls in CEO Club right now. Like, they need to hear
Yes.
that.
I'll say
So
as
good.
well, it's true. I see, for example, even a fertility journey, something that many, many people go on. There's a place for doctors always. We need to know our medical options, but we also want to hear from women who've been on the journey, who've been there, who maybe are just a bit further ahead. And so the media sharing your story in a bigger way, to me, is the most generous thing you can do. It pays everyone. You receive so many benefits. The audience receive benefits. The media receives benefits because they need fresh voices. They need content every day. It's such a win-win. And your life is your cred. I repeat this often because sometimes we think we're not ready, or sometimes we
Mhm.
think, oh, we have to have made $1 million, or we think, oh, when I'm 20 years in business or I have a PhD. Regular people, real stories, your life is enough. This I
Mhm.
know for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. It's so freeing.
Mhm.
So, okay, something that you talk about a lot is how specifically, you mentioned the social media aspect and that it's like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, we just can't rely on it like we used to.
Yes.
Um, and it's really like they favor the big guys. Like,
Mhm.
this algorithm favors like people and platforms that have a lot of, so again, more reason to get in with them,
Mhm.
and leverage them. But
Mhm.
you mentioned that growing your email list is a
Mhm.
really big part of media and PR. Can you explain that?
Yes, I love this too because look, getting in the media, I won't lie, it's great for the ego, right? It's great to be paid attention. People think that you're really legit. You receive a lot of praise and accolades. But at this stage, I mean, I stopped caring about that a long time ago. The attention piece or the this is so impressive piece. I care about like getting paid, right? Making my media work for me. And so, using the media solely, I grew my email list to over 29,000 people in 9 months. And I'm talking really warm, engaged people because
Ah.
they're not finding me in some random context. They're finding me in the powerful context of media that they love and trust. So, if someone finds me in Marie Claire or in Oprah Daily or in Business Insider or Forbes, wherever it might be, they love and trust that brand. And I get to borrow that credibility in an instant, shortening the know, like, and trust cycle that makes someone make a buying decision. So I feel like you just accelerate so much. So the way that it works with email list growth is simple, but often overlooked. So when you create content, for example, for social media, very few people are seeing it, right? 96% on average or more aren't seeing it. And then you get buried in the feed really quickly. So you have to keep doing it, keep doing it. With the media, there's no filter, there's no algorithm. It's just the media and their content, and the media isn't going anywhere. And so when you show up in media outlets that have existed in some cases for decades, with hundreds of millions of dollars behind them, these big brands, you tap into all of the people that are just showing up every day with an appetite for what it is that they have to share. So what you do essentially is you contribute, you act as a contributor. You show up, you share a story, information, something of value, and it can be a recipe, a fitness tip, business advice, parenting thoughts, advice on traveling to Asia as a woman alone. I mean, it's endless. We've had people who focus on heirloom tomatoes, who focus on equestrian living. I mean, it's limitless, truly, Ali, what you can achieve. But you show up, you add value in some capacity. Like I said, not perfectly, not as a fancy expert, but you share your point of view or your experience, and then you link to what you want to drive people to. Mine changes all the time. So sometimes it's a podcast link if I want to focus on podcast growth. And on my podcast, I exclusively sell my own products. So it's amazing. Yeah. Oh, I love it. So someone might find me in Katie Couric Media, for example, and they'll check out my piece, link to my podcast, and then see an invitation to work with me. So it's such it's frictionless. It's like a red carpet leading up to you and your products and services. It's so gorgeous.
I don't think people realize how your podcast is a lead magnet.
Oh, the best.
It is. Like that's my business model. It's social media, for those that will see it, leads to the podcast, which leads to the email list, which leads to membership.
Oh, there you go. So, I mean, link to your podcast. And you know what, Ali? I've even been creating podcast roundups as part of my media mix, including my own.
So explain that. What does that mean?
So here's an example. When my podcast was newish, I was like, okay, let's blow it up. Let's kind of like I did with my coaching business when I got started. So I reached out to a huge career website called The Muse. It has like 7 million readers a month. And I said, look, can I create a career podcast roundup for you? The best career podcasts to listen to this year. And they were like, sure. They paid me too, by the way.
Oh, well, we'll take it.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, I mean, I obviously care more about linking to my own products and to my, internal offers. But hey, it doesn't hurt to also be paid for your time and creating content, being paid to grow your business, essentially. So I created a roundup of the career podcasts that I enjoy and like. And then I, of course, included my own with a link to it, the best episode to start with, why you need to listen to it now. And since then, I've been including my podcast link in so many different forms of media. Most recently, I did it with the Selena Gomez mental health platform. It's called Wondermind, if you've heard of it. It's awesome. So I create content for Wondermind. Her mom actually shared, Maddie Tiffy, her CEO, shared my one of my articles on her social media. Selena Gomez liked it. Everything links to the pod. And then I became number one in self-improvement when that happened. So there is strategy behind this. It's like, look, some people love media for the, I just want to say, as seen in, right? As seen in Cosmo, as seen in the Wall Street Journal. Wonderful. That also elevates your brand because all else being equal, I don't make the rules, Ali, but if someone's going to make a decision between, say, 2 coaches or 2 photographers or 2 yoga teachers or 2 dentists, they're going to lean towards the one that has those credible media markers.
Right.
They seem
it just is the way the human brain is.
Yeah. This is letting it be easy, right? Don't fight it. Just get it, right? Get in with it. Get those logos.
Yeah.
And then, so you have, and you can even do it just for that. I have people who are like, I just want to get 5 logos for all of my marketing materials forevermore. And the plus side is once you've been in any media outlet, it's in your bio and those logos live forever. They don't expire. It's not like, oh, got to take this down. That was 5 years ago. It lives forever.
Yeah. I did Good Morning America in 2016.
Amazing.
And the Good Morning America is not going in. Hey, we still have a little GMA logo. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing today.
Doesn't
But I
matter.
was there and it's staying there.
Yeah, because you were on Good Morning America, and that's forevermore in your bio. Ali Casata
Right.
as featured in Good Morning America. And just say you go to give a talk somewhere, that's how you'd be introduced.
Yep.
Because these markers mean something. And like I said, I didn't invent this, you didn't invent this, but it's how it is. And
Mhm.
so you give yourself a huge advantage credibility wise. But then also, I mean, I want to I want to see revenue as a result of my efforts. If I'm expending energy on something, I want it to lead. I care about the ROI. So the media for me, I mean, Ali, I say all the time, if there's something else that'll bring me all these benefits, I'll do it. Like I'll do it yesterday.
Yeah.
But everything else I find a bit of a slower burn and also maybe just not as fun. It doesn't have all of the same perks, so to speak.
Yeah.
So the media, the media, the media, it pays off in ways, you know, that are just impressive, but also it's a bottom line mover, which is what I care most about.
Yeah, absolutely. With social media and as a part of this whole thing, I'm curious what your opinion is. I feel like I've sort of shifted to where my Instagram has become sort of a landing page.
Hmm.
Like if people land there, I do post pretty much every day, sometimes twice a day, but just because my
Yeah.
superpower is being an idea machine.
Mm,
And
yes.
so it's there, but I spend like a few hours once a week, kind of like editing my little cute reel covers, catchy titles to get attention there. But I'm very much treating it as a landing page for people that find me from somewhere else. I'm no longer treating it as something that I'm counting on
Mm,
funneling people in from because it just hasn't been working that way at the caliber I want it to for my goals. If you're
mm,
brand new and you get, 27 followers a month and that's a big deal for you, great. Social media, it's a big part of that. But I'm
yeah.
curious, like, where social media falls for you and your brand with all
Mm.
of this.
I think I consider it like a nice fun to have, actually more for me than anything else. Like
It is fun. I
I
think it's really
post,
fun.
yeah, I post personal pictures. I might do a couple of videos here and there, but truly, if I actually just interestingly deleted Instagram just for more focus at this time, and it doesn't affect my business at all. So like
Amazing.
that's not my generator. And God
Mhm.
bless you. Some people love it. They're so good at it. They're so entertaining. It's like they belong in Hollywood. They're so good with their social content, and I love watching it. But I'm not interested in creating it, and I know I'm not alone. Like I
Mhm.
know that social media is like a bit of a thorn for a lot of people, but they think it's unavoidable. So I like to have it. I enjoy it. I play around, but I knowing how non-viewable most of it, if it's invisible, let's say if you're largely invisible, even when you put effort into something, to me that just that doesn't make sense. That's not a good business deal.
Right.
So
Exactly. It's got to be a good exchange of energy. It's got to be a good business deal. And that the way that it's working right now, if you were to be spending so much time in there, it's a dumb business deal.
yeah,
You're not embodying this like higher level smart businesswoman version of yourself.
that's how I feel. It's like if I'm going to go to Pilates, which I do, even though I don't love working out, if I go, I want to do the best workout in the shortest amount of time. Like I just want to
Mhm.
get the, so I feel like that with audience growth. I'm like, how do I get the biggest bang for my buck with this? And so
Yeah.
for me, it's not social media or any other platform. It's the media, which is powerful for a reason. And it's,
Yeah.
I mean, ever since you're a child, I mean, look at it. The media matters. Like it shapes how we think and feel, what we believe in, who we're introduced to. And so I'm
Hmm.
going to go where the influence is to let it be.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're smart businesswomen.
Yes, yes.
So okay, so I'm sure that you have a program and I'm forgetting the name, but I'm sure that that is where you go into like what to say when you're pitching.
Yes, because interestingly, I'm sure, or maybe you've had this observation too. I find that high achieving women or ambitious women are actually the biggest overthinkers in a lot of cases. We
Mm-hmm.
think, oh, it has to be hard. There are all these complicated steps. Surely you need a middleman. Don't you need XYZ in order to do it? No. Like it's literally a step by step method. You do want to understand where you're appearing, what you're sharing. You want to know what it is you want to say, and you want to appear in the right place. So I made some mistakes in the beginning myself. I was showing up, sharing advice, but I wasn't hitting the right marks because it wasn't an audience match, right? I've learned along the way how to maximize, even within the media world, to maximize the best media for me,
Mm.
because it's not all created equal. Like if I was creating parenting content versus, content maybe for male executives, they're probably going to be different forms of media, or if someone's say in the fitness world, they probably want to appear in publications where people care about fitness. So it's understanding what you want to say and be known for right now. It can naturally always evolve and change. You want to understand where you want to appear to really hit that bullseye of people who are like, where have you been? Like, where have you been in my life? I need this. And then you want to be able to convey your idea in a way that's just simple and compelling. And that really is just the pitching process, where you go from an idea in your mind to an email that's written that has someone go, yes, I want you in women's health. Yes, I want you in parents. Yes, I want you in L. Yes, I want you in. And that's
Wow.
just a matter of understanding the value that you're bringing and conveying it simply.
So you don't necessarily need a PR person.
You definitely don't. In fact, I advise against it because, well, for a couple of reasons. I'm not sure what your experience is, but from what I understand, I've never worked with a PR team. They're expensive. They typically $10,000 a month, retain a 6-month minimum, so a $60,000 investment. That's cool if that's your vibe. Also, they don't make any guarantees, so it's not like if you give me your investment, then I can guarantee you at least 5 wins this month. There's none of that. Also, you don't foster and create relationships with the media. It's all because PR teams work like brokers. So it's like, and maybe they've got 20 clients and you're one of them. So they'll circulate their relationships to be able to satisfy everyone versus you doing it yourself. You have access to everyone and everything. And Ali, because I've been in the media for like 10 years now, a lot of my closest friends are editors and producers. And they have all told me without exception, they want to hear from regular people. They want to hear from you. Like, yes, of course, a few of the publicist emails, but the blanket posts that go out, I'm sure you get them as a podcaster.
I never look at them though.
So you are just you and everybody else, right? So, but if I'm sharing a story, I'm like, hey, I'm a girl here in Miami. I've got a point of view on something. It's like, oh, what has this woman got to say with her life experience? What's her current story? So the media want to hear from us.
Yeah.
Regular people like you and me, right? Not like some fancy schmancy. I mean, wonderful. If you've got a big following, great. If you've got credentials, use them. But your life is enough. What you've learned up until now, anything that you can share that's at all useful to somebody else can be shared in a big way. It's like you give it a microphone when you go to the media.
Absolutely. So, okay, I have a question. I'm thinking for myself here. So, but I think everyone will relate. The workflow of pitching feels overwhelming. So what does that, I guess, like, what is your recommendation if someone is like, this needs to be more of a priority for me? Yes, I want to do this, but it's so much to like find the connection, find the email, write it, change it for their audience, check back in, follow up. Like, what would you say to that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It is so simple. I am all about having free time and leverage, right? So if something's going to take even a small unit of time, there has to be a payoff, right? Yeah. So the way that I look at it workflow wise is this, and I spend about, let me just think, I spend about maybe 3 hours a month on this, right? So I'd say maybe every Friday an hour, 1 week a month. I just don't because I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing something cool. But you think about, what are my ideas or what's timely right now? Is Mother's Day coming up? Is it the holidays? Is there some type of, is there something going on in the news that I can, peg my story to? Maybe there's a big celebrity divorce, or maybe there's something announced about tax rates and you're a finance pro. I mean, we can tie our pitches to really anything, or you can just do as I do. I just keep it evergreen. I don't even take that step. And I just share what it is that I'm learning, what it is that I maybe have experience in my life that could add some value to anybody. So I create content around life simplification, being able to prioritize rest, making sure that we're working in ways that heal us, but that are fun. So not heavy ways to heal, but fun, accessible ways to heal. And that's truly evergreen. So if no matter where you are in your business stage, if you're very new, like I was getting media, I didn't have any content to pull from. I just decided that productivity was a good place to start because people love that type of content. But maybe if anyone's listening to this and they already have a newsletter, or they do have a blog, or they have even done some Instagram or Facebook lives, or they have really even long social media posts that are valuable, you actually might be sitting on a content goldmine. You might
just looking at what's already if you have that level of an audience or some semblance of an audience looking at what's already resonated.
Yes, I mean, I just saw recently someone in our community, she's taken her kids out of school. She said she's world schooling them, taking them on her travels.
Yes.
And she did a social media post about it that had a lot of engagement. I love that too. And then I'm like, use that. Tell them, say, hey, look, well, this is interesting. So you can use, if you already have content, you can pitch your existing content, or you can, if you're brand new like I was with nothing, then you just choose your first area of focus, and you're not married to it forever, but you just need somewhere to start. And so you just let it be fun.
What I love about this as well is that it really just, it's not only like giving permission to not have to niche down like permanently or
Mm,
even necessarily at all.
yes.
It's actually helpful that you are multi-passionate and you do have other topics of interest because there's more for you to pitch and more platforms for you to pitch to.
Oh, yes. And if you even Googled me, you'll see I have like probably 15 different bios based on the media that I'm in.
Yeah,
It
me
will
too.
say like, yeah, and that's great. That's appropriate, because if I'm sharing something that's leading to a podcast, that's different to leading to an evergreen funnel that might be more about business. And it might be different if it's leading to a book that I have for sale. So I'll always tailor my own. It's called a shirt tail in media speak. It's a simple 2-sentence bio, which goes like this. Ali Casaza is an X who helps Y. So Alex Casaza is an amazing person who helps moms, right? Uh, Download her Z here.
Got
That,
you. Okay.
that's how simple it is. So you have your amazing content in a perfect home. People love
Focus,
it.
person, thing to get.
That's it. Hello, email list growth. And then
Wow.
something else happens too. You start just getting inbound inquiries. It's like, do you want to come on my show? I need you. Do you work one-on-one? When
Mhm.
people connect with your story because they actually see it, thank you. I'm like, oh, they're
Yeah.
seeing it. So is that it's actually viewable. You'll be amazed at what happens. I mean, we had someone who recently had a $20,000 client because he saw her in Business Insider and he's like, hey, CEO requests you. What are your rates? Let's go. I mean, you'd be surprised how you don't need a long time or a long nurture sequence. I mean, good for you if you do all the things,
Yeah.
but why not put yourself in the way of possibility in fresh ways with lots of eyeballs discovering you?
Mhm. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Um, okay. So we're doing a thing.
Yeah.
We need to talk to before I forget, we need tell them about, well, it's really your thing. Your webinar. You have something to teach them that, I mean, really, like, this is the next step. If you're listening to this and it's like, oh my God, I love this perspective. This makes everything so much simpler. But what next? Tell us about
Mm. Yeah. So if you're thinking, I'd like some of this, I'd like some new clients, I'd like to have all of this media validation, I'd like to expand and grow, we have a class just for you, Ali's community. Head to getrockstarpr.com/Ali. So getrockstarpr.com/Ali. So ALLIE, as we know. And the masterclass itself, it's called Overnight Rockstar, because that's how rapidly it can work. We've had people who've had success within 3 days. 3 days of learning these strategies. I mean, and look, Ali, I'll admit, I've been on YouTube, for example, for years, and I don't have that many subscribers. I mean, for me, it's a slog. Like I said, God bless you if that's your medium. But I don't know. I mean, the media, I say buckle up, because this can work quickly. And if you
it.
want to see results, and if you've been thinking, when is this going to take off? When are my ships going to come in? Then
Yeah.
really media might be the missing piece you didn't even realize was missing. So
Yeah.
getrockstarpr.com/Ali, custom class for your lovely community, where I break down how to make it real. So this is like largely theoretical, right? Like how the media works, but breaking down the nitty gritty of how to make it real in your life and business.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that I want to add before we wrap up too is, in my experience, no one is watching the media quite like other media. Like, they are,
Oh,
so it's a domino effect. Like, if
mhm.
something does well, you're gonna get reached out. You're gonna hear from ABC, and then you're gonna hear from Fox, and then you're gonna hear from this and that, and one thing leads to another, and it's really beautiful. And then you have the appearance of being everywhere, and you barely did anything.
And you can do this within 3 months of starting your business. That's really the beauty. There is no barrier to entry. The only barrier is your belief that you can't do it. So,
Absolutely. You don't need to have the website perfect. You don't need to
mm,
have anything set up yet. And like
no,
Susie was saying, you guys, she didn't even have anything set up yet. She didn't have her lead magnet. She didn't have anything. She
no.
just tried it and then was like, this is my strategy.
Yes, and what a blessing to receive that even as an option because you don't know, right? We don't know until we try something.
Hmm.
And then if anyone's been struggling or thinking there has to be another way or, where are all the people, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes you're like, I'm spinning gold. Where are the people?
Yep.
Then this can just pay off hugely. This is worth an hour of your time, this class for sure, even if you're remotely curious. So I recommend checking it out for sure, letting us know what you think because, hey, look, it's your time, right? This is
Yeah.
it. Like, this is your life. It's happening now. What
Yeah.
have we got to wait for?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay. Give us the link one more time and then tell us where is that the best place for people to connect with you? Is just this next step?
Yes, I would recommend this for sure. GetRockstarPR.com/Ali. I can't wait to have you there and hang with you and learn about you and your businesses. It's so exciting.
Yes, it is. This is like, oh my gosh, PR, press, media, getting seen has given me a whole new life. I mean, honestly, it's given me a whole new life. And it's one of the first things I focused on as I've been like going through this pivot. And because if you want to rebrand yourself, who better to help you do that than getting in front of audiences and major media outlets to say, oh, that's not her anymore. This is now.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's so fresh and you can do it forever. We're like
Yeah.
share. We just keep going.
Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
it's a wonder. And I really want this for everybody and it's never too soon. So
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. It's never too soon. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. This is so valuable, my friend. I love you so much. This was
I love
amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
I love you, Ali, and my friends will see you on the workshop. Cannot wait. Here's to you and your visibility.
Hell yes. Yay.
Mwah! Woo!